Hey guys, welcome back to part 15 of Satan's Hollow. Last night I did clean the fuse holders. I did run it for about 5 or 10 minutes and they weren't getting hot. Before the fuse holder, a couple of those fuses were getting so hot you couldn't touch them. So I think what happened was there was corrosion in there and it wasn't getting a good connection, so it was kind of like sparking almost, you know, creating friction which caused heat. So hopefully that is fixed. Some parts came today from Arcade Shop. I got a K7000 flyback, Sanyo flyback for that one that I stole out of that other Nintendo monitor. And the red buttons and stuff are in here, so I can switch those white ones out to the red ones. First thing I want to do is get this service switch and the volume pot and everything put in so that we could turn the game back on and see if we get volume, because I haven't tested that yet because we haven't had a chance. I'm gonna have to open up my probably just my tapper cabinet so I can see what wires go where for the volume pot, because the volume pot has 3 wires on it. All the other 2 are just 2 wires, so it shouldn't be a big deal for those 2. But the 3-wire pot, I'm not sure which color goes on which. And also I came to the conclusion that I don't think that has lights on it in it from original for Satan's Hollow, so we're not going to hook the lights up, because when this game is on and the lights are off down here and this red light is glowing, this glows really well. So I don't think it had lights in it. Neither do I think my Tron does, because I don't remember hooking up wires for a light inside my Tron one either. So if the Tron doesn't have it, I'm guessing that Satan's Hollow probably didn't have it either. So not going to worry about that, because I don't want to rob any power from anywhere else. We're already using enough power, so it glows just fine. So I'm looking in here now to see if I can figure out what color wire goes where on this volume pot. So I'm going to look at this for a minute and then I'm going to get set up and we're going to solder these ones together. Okay, let's get this stuff soldered on here. Yes, they're the same wire colors. So this yellow and purple went in the middle on that volume pot inside the tapper cabinet. So we are going to solder this one to the middle lug. And the way that it was set up in there, it was actually on this side of the coin door. Orange was on the outside here. So hopefully it goes orange, yellow, black. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll just have to switch it around. So we're going to get this one soldered on first. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't just fill this solder on this first. Fill these holes in with solder and then just heat it up and stick the wire through. So hopefully me cleaning that fuse holder fixes things. I think I'm going to clean it a little bit more, but I'm not going to do it on camera because it's too hard to try to, you can't see what I'm doing in there anyways. I'm just basically sanding down the connections. So what I did here is I filled in all the holes with solder, and then I'm just reheating them up and then sticking the wire through it. Hopefully this is the last episode and we can just finish this up, and hopefully it won't have any problems with it. Didn't get it hot enough. You gotta work pretty quickly when you do it this way. I took the solder out. It's all right. Got enough to hold it. Put a little bit more on top. There we go. Oop. There we go. Okay, that's ready to go to test. Let's get these other two soldered on, these other two switches, and then we will plug the game in and test it before we mount everything to this bracket. Once we screw everything to this bracket, then we can stick it in here, screw it to the cabinet, and then we are done with this. But this turned out really nice. To me, it looks just like an original one. This is 16 gauge steel, so it's nice and thick and strong. So now this says slide switch. So this is our test switch. And I have a test switch here that only has 2 terminals. So one wire goes on one side and one goes on the other. I'm not going to worry about which way on off is. It's either going to be on or it's going to be off. So this already has some solder on it, so I need to heat this up. It's funny how old solder is hard to heat up, but once you add new to it, it usually heats up pretty quick. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to, there's a little bit of old wire in here going through the hole. So what I do is I took some new solder and then I poked it through just to get that old wire out of there, because I don't really want to leave that old wire on there. Rather just have a nice clean connection with just this new wire going into the hole without a bunch of old strands of wire hanging out. So basically I'm just sticking my solder gun through the hole and knocking out this old wire. Okay, that's cleaned out. Ouch. Now we can put these wires into it. This is a much bigger switch than what they originally used. But as far as I can tell, it's just an on-off switch, so it should not affect it. Now, hopefully next week my free play ROMs will show up and I can put those on the board, and then this game should be complete. That's my goal. But as soon as this is done, I'm ready to do the Neo Geo. I'm ready to get that finished up. And I need to start working on that cabinet I'm turning into a Donkey Kong 3. So that will be starting this week as well, because I want to get it done and get it back to the guy so he can. I'm not putting the game together. I am going to paint the cabinet, fix the cabinet, paint the cabinet, put a new base on it, paint the coin door, put the T-molding on, and put the artwork on. He is taking care of everything else besides that. Okay, so now we have our last one here, which is our credit button. So we can credit the game up with this button rather than having to use the coin door switch for the coin mechanism. Some more old wire stuck to this I'm trying to get off without heating it up too much. These plastic switches do not like to get a lot of heat. that's hot. It's kind of hard to do with only one hand holding it. I wonder if I can get a little bit more solder on this one wire. I'm not happy with the way that's on there. So I'm going to apply a little bit more to it. Come on. That might help. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go around back. I'm going to plug this in. Turn it on. I don't know if it's going to be in test mode or not. See what happens here. It's coming up. Okay, I'm going to credit it up, see if this credit button works. Credit button works. So let's hit start, see if we get any volume out of this. Okay, there's no audio. Getting a little bit of a high-pitched noise from the audio. Unless that's coming from the monitor. I wonder if that's coming from the flyback. I wonder if I have these wires on backwards on this. I'm going to switch the two wires on this volume pot. Okay, let's change these two wires around on the pot and see if it makes a difference. If it doesn't, then we might have a problem with the audio board. I wonder if this is still warm enough. I know that the yellow one's right because it's in the center. It's the only thing it could be. If it's not this, it's not these two wires being reversed, then it's the audio board, I would think. All right, plug it back in. We'll see if anything happens. Ouch. Okay, the game's coming up. Let's give it a credit. Let's hit the start. I'm not getting any sound yet. No noise. Okay. That means that that audio board is not working that I know of. Wonder what happens if I put this into test. Nothing. Okay, which is normal for these games. So now I have to figure out why I'm not getting audio. I also have to make sure that everything's plugged in back there. So let me go look at that first. We are getting sound. I just messed with the connections back there. I pushed in the chips on the soundboard, made sure they were all seated well. So now it looks like we're getting our sound back. We need to put the tinted plastic on the monitor, get the glass put on, get these switches mounted onto that metal plate that I made yesterday. Then we can turn the lights off down here and see what it looks like. I keep forgetting to use my shield, but I don't know if my shield works when they run into you. I know it works for their bullets, but I don't know that it works for them running into you. Come on. Got him. Okay, let's get this, let's turn it off and get this bracket mounted in the cabinet. Okay. Now they go in this way. So our top is our credit. Oh, great. Probably never find that nut. Oh boy, where'd that go? You know it went under the cabinet. It's probably right under the middle of it too. I gotta clean up this mess. I got stuff everywhere. How do I do that? How did I lose that? Well, let me find that and I'll come back. Okay, I found it. It bounced all the way on the other side of the cabinet. Just gonna use my little crimpers. Okay, now our middle one is our on-off switch for our get into settings. You know what else I need to do is I need to run my ground wires to my monitor, to the coin door, to the control panel. So I got to find some of those. I know I have some. Those yellow straps. They're flat. Okay, now I got to get two screws and we'll screw that in there, and that should be good to go. Here's my drill. Great. I could see where it originally mounted. I don't know if this will line up perfectly with those holes, but we can get it close. I'll tell you what, this setup and these games are the dumbest setup for these, to try to screw these things in, because it's got that wood plate on the other side, so you can't do it from the back, and you have to try to reach in there. It definitely wasn't a smart idea with that. It's a real pain in the butt. Nope, not in the right spot. Close, but not right. One more screw. Stick my head in there now so I can see where the hole is. Okay, they are mounted. Let's turn the game back on. Make sure that still works, the volume. Yep. See how loud it is when I get hit? That's a little loud, but it'll be all right. Let me show you how those switches look in there. So they're just mounted right in there. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this back off. We're gonna get the monitor cleaned up. get the bezel and everything put on it, and the glass. All right, this tube is clean because I washed it, but we're gonna just, for one more time, just wipe it down. It's got a little bit of 1942 screen burn in it from when somebody had converted it. But once we put this tinted plexi on here, it'll be just fine. This already wiped down once. Just wipe it down again. So this goes on there here, like this. Sometimes it's a pain to line up, especially when these brackets are bent inwards, so you got to bend them back out. That's probably from when I was washing it and I flipped it on its side. There we go. Okay, now there's these little clips here, these little plastic clips with screws. I need to put those in with the piece of tinted plexiglass. And then I got to go in the back and grab we're using the original glass from this game. It still had the original glass bezel. Looks like I might be missing a couple screws. That's all right, I'm just gonna use all new ones. I'll use 4 new screws so that they all match. Here's our piece of tinted plexi. I'm gonna wipe off the backside and then we can put it in there. And then after we get it mounted, we can wipe off the outside. Grab 4 new screws. And then these plastic tabs just hold everything in place. One more tab, and then we can wipe it off, and then I'll go grab the screen glass. Okay. Now you can just see it, very slight screen burn now. Once the game's on, you won't really notice it. So let me go grab that glass. All right, I'm gonna wipe this back side real quick. And then we'll put it in. There's a few little scratches on this, like on the artwork, but it's not bad. It's not worth the money for a new one. Because I think they're fairly expensive, 140, 160 bucks, something like that. And I'd rather keep the original one. Which way does this go? I think this way. Beautiful. I'll wipe that in a minute. I gotta get that bracket, this flat bracket that goes here, and I gotta find screws for that because it didn't have them all when I got the cabinet, and they were mismatched. So I think they are these ones here, these security screw Allen heads. Yes, these are them. So I gotta go see if I have something with the same thread on it, because I'm not putting 3 of one in and 1 of another. If I have to wait until tomorrow to get the right screws, I will. Or at least matching screws, I should say. So let me go look and see what I have for screws for that. Okay, I have some that'll work, but they are more of a coarse thread. So the thread is more coarse. This one is a finer thread. It's the same style thing, but this one's not a security bit, but that's fine. So I need to pop out these that are in the back of the cabinet and slide these ones in their place, because these are more of a, these match this thread. At least I think they do. I might have grabbed one that didn't. Okay, this one does. I gotta go grab another one then, because I have both fine and coarse thread ones of these. So that's the wrong one. This one's right. We're gonna have to take that glass back out. Hopefully not the plastic too, but we might have to take it all back out to get these in. So I'm gonna go grab one more of those inserts. Okay, I have all 4 of those inserts now, and four new black screws. These inserts you can buy at Home Depot and Lowe's in the hardware section. When we pop out these old ones, we'll save them, because there's no point in throwing them away. Let's move that glass out of the way, and boy, I might have to take this stupid plastic off. Darn it. Well, I'll show you how to do this one here. So basically, take a Phillips screwdriver, stick it in the hole here, and if you tap down, that insert falls out. It actually goes right into the monitor frame on this one. There's 3 of them. Okay, those are all knocked out of there. We have to take this back off, which shouldn't be as big a deal. Might be able to reach in there with just taking the 2 off. Let me find a bit that fits these new screws. This is a Torx bit. All my bits fell over the other day and they're all out of order. I might have to go to my other kit, because I think the size that I need I broke in this kit. Maybe. Oop, found it. Okay. So now, to put these inserts in, easiest way to do it is to hold it from underneath. Hold it in place, start your screw on the top side here, into it. tighten them right back into the wood. The screw draws it right back tight into the wood. So we got to do the other 3, and I got to get those other ones out of here. You know, I'm going to take this off. I'm not going to run the risk of cracking this by being lazy. Sometimes it's just not worth it. So let's just pull this off real quick, very carefully, so I don't get it all fingered up. Okay. Now I can go into this track, get all these old ones out of here. Okay, got the old ones out. Now, if you look on the bottom of these, there's spikes. There's these spikes. And what happens when you draw it up, the spikes go into the wood and hold it in place. And then it just stays there for you. Two more. And then we can put this back together. Beautiful. Now we can put this plastic back on. This has still got some dampness to it, so I'm going to wipe this where my hand was touching the monitor just in case. Okay, get the plastic back on. Don't want to tighten them too tight, just want to lightly put them in there. You guys excited about seeing a Neo Geo finished? I have never owned a Neo Geo. Never played any of the Neo Geo games on a Neo Geo cabinet. I'm sure I've played the games on other formats, but never on an original cabinet. So it's gonna be a pretty cool one, I think. I want to play Windjammers. I've played Windjammers before, but not on a Neo Geo cabinet. I played an emulated version, and I'm sure it wasn't, you know, nowhere near as good. Okay, that's on. Wipe this. Now we can put our glass on. Okay, now our metal bar can go on with our new screws. So there's always a way to fix something, especially if you can't get the right stuff, or if you don't want to wait to order it and wait a couple days to a week to get it. There's always a way around it. I'll tell you what, Amazon has quite a bit of hardware too. If you really look around and search on Amazon, you can more than likely find what you need and have it in a day or two. You don't want to go cranking this down either because of the glass. Okay, that is done. Let me clean the glass. There's the glass cleaner. So basically, this is original. This plastic right here is original. So we were able to use, we got lucky. I got lucky that it came with that stuff. Obviously the piece of flat metal is original. Okay, that's good enough for now. I'm sure I'll have to clean it again. Just trying to get the main stuff off, but that original screen bezel looks pretty good. The funny thing is on that original screen bezel is the black has like a brownish tint to it. I think it's maybe just from age, or maybe that's what the ink looked like back then. You know, maybe because I noticed like there are some black paints that will have a brownish tint to them. So now let's change out these two buttons, these two white buttons for the two red buttons. And then after that, I think we're done with the front of this cabinet. And then we just got to go on the back. We got to put the bracket on, the top bracket on to hold the power supply in. And then I think just put a door lock on the back door. And I think we are done. I think this project is done. And then I get to clean a big mess. It's amazing how big of a mess I make every single time I put a game together. Okay, I got to go grab a couple red buttons. Okay, I got two red buttons here. Now, when I ordered these buttons from Arcade Shop, I ordered 4 of them. I only needed 2 of them, but I ordered 4. If you guys are doing a lot of restorations and a lot of cabinets, I just suggest ordering extra parts when you have them, because these are $1.75 a piece. So to order an extra 2, it's next to nothing, because if you need 2 more in the future, then, you know, you're going to have to pay shipping. So rather than having to pay shipping a second time, just order a couple extra stuff, you know. You're going to eventually use it if you're planning on doing a bunch of arcade work and games and owning a bunch of games and stuff. If you're not, you only have a few, that's a different story. So now I need to try not to scratch this all up and just pop out these 2 buttons real quick. Loosen up this pail nut. This technically should only take a minute. And I like these ones from Arcade Shop because they have this E-clip. Some of the places that you get these leaf switch buttons, they have this plastic on the end is ballooned open. It's like they heat it up and they stick a screwdriver or something through that little hole and they balloon it out so you can never take the button apart. These ones, you just pop the E-clip, you can pull it apart, take the spring out. If your spring breaks, you can change the spring, or you can just simply just take it apart to clean it. So I like to make sure I get those kind. And the funny thing is, now that I just said that, let me grab this camera here and show you. These 2 yellow ones are not, these are the example of ones that I don't like getting. These don't have an E-clip. They just mushroom that plastic up. So these ones are crappy ones. See how it's got that mushroomed end? I don't like those ones. But in yellow, that's all I had here. If I'd have known, if I would have been paying attention, I would have ordered 2 yellow ones from Arcade Shop, but it's fine. If they break, I'll just have to order them in the future. You know, I don't know what some of the other companies sell. I don't know where the yellow ones came from, to be honest with you. Who knows? I have no idea how long I've owned them. So we have 1 red on. Give it a little 1/8 turn, 1/4 turn. That's it. The white ones are brand new too, so I gotta put those back. I have a bunch of red ones. Old ones though, they all look crappy. Some of them have cigarette burns and they're just all dull. Probably could have buffed them out and stuff, but it wasn't really worth the time for the money. Okay, that was an easy enough fix. Now we can put this back in. These 2 wires here are for my light for inside the joystick. Like I said, I'm just going to let them dangle there. I'm not hooking it up. Once I turn the lights off down here and we turn this game on and we play a game real quick, you'll see how this joystick lights up from that red light. And I can also show you the black light, what it looks like with the black light on, because this light bar will simulate black light. Somebody had asked me or said that they liked the black light look better than the red, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I get it, you know, trying to keep it as original as possible. I just prefer the red one. I just think it looks cooler. If I were to design this game in 1981 or 2, whenever it came out, I would have personally automated a red light because it just made sense to me in my head. But that's just how I think. But, you know, you can totally turn this to a black light by just that remote right there, just switching it to black light, you know, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to clean up a little bit down here. I'm going to get the cabinet pulled back out. We actually have to put 2 brackets on. We have to put the bracket on that holds the glass on the back of the back side. So we got to put that on. We got to put the bracket on the top of the power supply, a lock in the back door, put the door on, and then I think we're ready to fire this up and play a game. Okay, first thing I want to do is there's a L bracket right here that goes up here, which holds the glass up against the wood so that there's not a gap back there. So put this on real quick. Just held in with 3 screws. Okay, that's done. Now we need to put this bracket back on for the top of the power supply. Screws should still be in the cabinet. Yes, they are. So this just slides on this top edge. And the 2 holes are here still. And then I got to grab my lock for the back door, and I think we're done. Okay, that's in. All right, I gotta go grab a lock for the back door, and then we will put that on and then finish this up. Okay, the old lock's in here still. I just painted the cabinet with the lock in there. Gotta get this one out. Actually, the metal plate can stay. I just gotta grab a pair of pliers for the nut. Stupid wire sitting on. All right, maybe we'll grab some pliers for the nut. All right. Boy, that's in there. There we go. Obviously this is garbage. We don't have a key for it. I just have a regular cabinet desk lock. We'll hang the key inside the coin door. Oh, I gotta grab the coin door bucket. I do have a coin door bucket for this. I wasn't sure if I had one, but I do have one. So this is we'll have to probably change that out for a longer one, maybe. Or a different style one. So we need to take this screw off the back. Okay. Let's get this in here. There's a metal plate on the back side, and it only lets it go up like this so that this flat side's on each side. So it goes right like that. And then this nut goes on. What that plate does is keeps the lock cylinder from spinning on itself, spinning around. Beautiful. Okay, that's in there. Looks like we can use the longer one of those bars. So there's a longer one that it comes with right here. This is the longer version. This is the shorter. I like the longer one because it goes farther up into the wood. So now we want to set it with this thing so that when the key's in the upright position, it's locked. Sorry, I got a washer in my mouth. Okay. So now I got to get this all screwed together. And we're going to have to bend this metal tab because it's too far away from the cabinet, which is not a big deal. So we're going to bend this in to about there, and we'll try it. See how this fits. It's actually pretty good. It's turning on because I have it plugged in. Let me turn the switch off. Okay, so that is done. Picking up my garbage here. I'm gonna have to pull this back out because I'm gonna have to move a couple games around to plug this in. But for now, we can test this thing. I'll turn the lights off so you guys can see what it looks like. But first I want to hang this key. There's a hook inside this coin door right over here. And we're just going to hang this key right like that, and that's for the back door. Can't shut that all the way because I need to credit the game up because it's obviously not set into free play right now. So let me get this set up. Let me throw this garbage away. Then we'll turn it on. Turn the lights off down here. And play a quick game. I've never played this before other than a couple times while I was on this video. Okay, it's currently pitch black. I gotta try to get around to the switch here. Turn it on. We're almost ready for another arcade tour. I want to get the Neo Geo done and the Sinistar, and then we can we'll do another walkthrough. But see how that glows, how well that glows. If those lights were lit up in there, you would never even see them. It's not even worth wasting the power to do that. So our screen might be a hair dark. I might need to turn the brightness up on the flyback a tiny bit. I'm not sure yet. But let me show you before I start a game. I'm gonna put this on like black light. Right there, that's black light, which is really drowning out my camera. But that's the black light, which it lights this up as well. You know, it does. And that's how it should be originally. That's what it should look like. But for me, I like the red. So we're gonna stick with the red for me. And, you know, anybody else who has one could do whatever they would like. But at least I do have the option of making it look original. And I have a little bit of MCR, that garbage on the side of the screen. So I got to adjust it a little bit more. So let me put a credit in here. Joystick feels good. Worked out really well using that Gorf with the Pac-Man bottom. That I got to give thanks to Tim for that. Tim is a guy that I picked up the scramble cabinet from and a couple other parts. I actually picked up some of the boards for my Sinistar from him, and he said, why don't you use a Gorf joystick with a Pac-Man bottom? And he showed me, and I had to do a little bit of modifications, but it ended up working out well. So thanks to Tim for that one. Well, I got him and he got me. I keep forgetting to use my shield. Got him. Yeah, I'll probably turn the brightness up a hair. believe what I'm doing is, if you look at that steel girder on the bottom of my guy, I think I have to build a bridge to get across, if I remember correctly. Which I just died, so that didn't work out well. But yeah, I think that's what you do, is you collect those pieces. I died, but that's the game, guys. It is done. My ranking is #1. I'm not going to put my initials in there. You know what I didn't do? I did not put the battery in there to save the high scores. I do need to do that, but you know what? We'll do that. We'll make one more short video of me putting the, this stupid light keeps not wanting to come on. There it is. We'll make a short video of me putting the battery on the board, because I'm going to have the board set out to put those free play ROMs on. So when I do the free play ROMs, we'll put the battery on the board. So all right, guys, that's going to end the Satan Hollow restore. We are done, other than those couple things I want to do to the board. Fingers crossed, hopefully this thing will keep running well. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Any questions or comments or anything, feel free to ask me or send them. But let me zoom out. That's it, guys. It's in the lineup with Tapper, Tron, and Journey. All right, guys, you guys have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.